students at home. My name is Mrs. Sani as usual. You're welcome to English class. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we started the topic known as idiomatic expressions, and then we said idiomatic expressions are groups of words whose meaning is different from their individual words. I'm sure you still remember them. And then we looked at various idiomatic expressions. I'll just mention a few. I don't know if you still remember couch potato. What does it mean? A couch potato is a lazy person, someone who sits in front of the TV 24/7. Thanks to this virtual learning, if not for that, some of you will have turned yourself into a couch potato. And I also want to talk about taking something with a pinch of salt. What does it mean? It means when you doubt the accuracy of a piece of information. Do you know that this corona pandemic, some people still take it with a pinch of salt, believing that it's not true and it's not real? But I know you are smart and you know that it's real. Alright, today we shall be considering a new topic known as comparison of adjectives. Of course, first time we did part of speech and then we made mention of adjectives. I'll say something about adjectives, okay? What are adjectives? Adjectives are, or an adjective is a word that describes or gives us more information about a noun or a pronoun. For example, we have newborn baby, we have worst experience, we have a big house, and so on and so forth. But today we want to focus on comparison of adjectives. At what point in time do we compare adjectives, and why do we have to compare adjectives? Mostly, qualitative adjectives are the ones that are compared most. Examples: brave, new, healthy, and so on and so forth. So, also, when we talk about comparison, there are two past forms. We have the comparative and then the superlative form. We use the comparative when we are comparing two objects, two people, or two one or two things. Okay. So follow me as I draw something on the board, as I draw my table. I want you to look at the diagram on the board. I have adjective, comparative, and number of syllables. Now we want to know how we compare adjective, and then based on their number or the number of syllables they have. I'm sure you still know that the syllable is the smallest unit a word can be broken down to. Okay, the first one I have is new. Now the comparative form tells me to add ER. I have new word. Now number of syllables, how many syllables do I have in this word? Just one, new. I take another word, I have cold. The comparative form tells me to add ER, and that's colder. How many syllables? Cold. Just lost one. Now let's move on to interesting. Interesting. Now let's stop here. Interesting. How many syllables? Interesting. That's four. That's more than one. So the rule does not apply to this type of adjective. What am I supposed to do? The rule says that I should bring in more. So rather than adding ER to interesting, what do? I have to put more at the front to be more interesting. More interesting. Because it's going to be more than one. And then the last one on this is big. Big. Now for big, I'll have to make this G, I'll have to make it double. Okay, before I add my ER, bigger. How many syllables is still one? One. Okay, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that in the comparative form, once the adjective has only just one syllable, you only add ER. But when it's more than one, you add more. Okay. Now let's do this using right in the sentence form. My father's house is bigger than $10. That means my father's house is bigger than that of Mr. $10, the business mogul. Also, his essay is more interesting than yours. Okay, more interesting. I have compared to things here, his essay and your essay. Now moving on to another category of adjective. Now in this category of adjective, there is this one, they have two forms of comparison. Okay, so I need you to pay attention as I draw. Okay, as I was saying before, I said that there are other forms of adjectives that have two comparative forms. I want you to listen, okay, carefully. Sometimes we think that they are wrong, they are not wrong, okay, they are correct. You can use any of the two. Now, the first one I have is that clever. Now, you can add, just as I told you, you can add ER to it, it becomes cleverer or more clever. Okay, then the next one, polite. I have politer or more polite. I also have pleasant, pleasanter or more pleasant. And the last one is quiet, quieter or more quiet. The two are correct. Now let's use this in sentence form. I have he is the clever student, and Taiwo is quieter than Kennedy. Okay, they are both correct. You can use either. They can go with more or you add ER. So there's another set that they are comparative form. They are known as irregular adjectives. They don't take the ER or the more. They change totally. And those are the categories of you need to draw again. Those are the categories of add. Yes, I said there's another category that they are known as irregular adjectives. They don't add ER or more. These ones, their own comparative and then the superlative form changes, okay? I'm sure, I know I did not make mention of superlative earlier. Now, superlative has to do with comparison between 3 or more, okay? 3 or more. For the superlative, we add most. Alright, so let's look at such adjectives. We have bad, worse, worst. We have good, better, best. We have little, less, and least. The list is endless. Let me just use an example to explain that, that was the worst experience I have ever had. That means amongst all the experiences you've ever had in life, that particular one was worse. Okay. All right then. There is another category of adjectives that they don't have the superlative form and then they don't have the comparative form. Yes, it is important you know that too. Now these ones, no comparative, no superlative. Examples of these ones. Examples are right, utter, real, unique, perfect. This one you can't compare them. There's no point of comparison. They are just perfect on their own. There's no comparative form. There's no superlative form. Let me take an example. He was a unique president. The word unique has explained itself. You can't say more unique or most unique. Okay, so I just want to do a quick recap of what I have done. I've taught us today. Comparison of adjective has to do with comparing one quality. Comparing one quality of adjective and the other. Okay, the first one we looked at was adjectives with one syllable. Okay, those ones they take er, and those ones that have two syllables they take more. Okay, that's why I wrote more than one. And then these are examples here. My father's house is bigger than Hotel Dollars. His essay is more interesting than yours. There's another set of adjectives that have two comparative forms: clever, cleverer, more clever; polite, politer or more polite; pleasant, pleasanter or more pleasant; quiet, quieter or more quiet. He is the clever student. Taiwo is quieter than Kennedy. And third set, these ones they are known as irregular adjectives. They don't add er or more. Okay, we have bad, worst, worst, good, better, best, little, less, least, and then example, that was the worst experience I've ever had. And then the last set, no comparison, no comparative sum, I beg your pardon, and then no superlative form. Example, right, alter, real, unique, perfect. The example you have here, he was a unique president. So with this, you should be able to attend the class we're given to you. See you guys some other time. Thank you.